Yo, Hammer.
What up?
Back.
Yeah, figured I'd pull 3 out of 4 nights ain't bad.
For the Monday recap in the building. Was I trying to? Caddy, what up, Caddy? What happened with you, Caddy, this week?
Cadillac, what it do, bruh?
You wound up pulling out the dub or what? But yeah, how's fantasy been to you this week, Hammer?
Can you hear me?
Yeah. So how's fantasy?
3-0, baby.
Yeah.
3-0, big Jackson, what it do, guy? Big 3-0 week. Mainly on the legs of one Joshua Jacobs on 2 out of my 3 teams. That guy had a hell of a game. Pretty much catapulted me. So if you have Josh Jacobs on your team, I'm pretty sure you're in good shape this week. So 3-0. Looking really good in Dynasty. Looking really good in my home league. And in your league, I started 0-6, and I won 5 out of 6. So I'll be 5-7. Already got all 3 wins locked up. So pretty good week overall. Like I said, Josh Jacobs getting it done.
My bad. I'm trying to put this shit up chat.
This computer's really messing with me right now.
Yeah, Jackson, I don't know if you were on when we were talking about it last time, but yeah, I mean, next year maybe we could plan a few of us to go out to the Vikings game, and maybe if we give ahead of time, and possibly if you can get the suite, otherwise we'll just get tickets. But it'd be cool if a few of us could come down. Caddy said dropped 146.
Hell yeah, we got dude had Jacobs. Yeah. If you're on the receiving end of that Jacobs work, that's never good.
Yes, it's rough, man. Need y'all's help. What up, Jackson? What you need? Did you win? What is it? Up and Pierce for Devonta Smith, Miles Sanders, David Montgomery, and Justin Fields. What side did you get here, Jackson?
I think he gave up Cup and Pierce.
If you gave up Cup and Pierce, then yeah, it's a major win. If you got Cup and Pierce, I should have asked me, bro. I don't think Cup comes back. And Stafford.
No, I don't. Yeah, I think the Rams season's over. So why are they gonna bring Cup back?
Yeah,
that doesn't make
fucking awesome trade, bro.
Locking it in. Give him double.
The third time's a fucking charm. That's sick, Jackson. Some idiot gave you that.
That's insane because Cup's not coming back, dude. He's gonna be out 6 to 8 weeks anyway. At the bare minimum, he would come back around championship week.
But there's no reason for them to play him or rush him back. Like,
right?
They're not. And my bad. My mic is over to the side. My bad if y'all couldn't hear.
We can still hear you pretty good actually.
This mic is pretty fire. It's cheap too. And I could change the color. Check this out.
Yeah, I think you had showed us before. Yeah. Change the colors.
Get the Viking purple. Let's get the Viking purple up there.
Let's not. No, we're not doing that. We're definitely not doing that.
You low key lied and said he's gonna be back sooner. He didn't do it.
Hey,
bro, you gotta do what you gotta do, bro.
You know what? You know what, Jackson? Good for you, because if that guy can't even just tap the info on Cooper Kupp, then that's on him. So we fully support taking advantage of people if they don't do this shit. Just like when I picked up Christian Watson, who went off again.
Yeah.
Over 100 and a TD.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you got to do, bro. You try and paint the picture in someone's head. That's what everybody tries to do, especially when
you.
Why you're trying to give this guy up then, and then you gotta, you got to finagle your way. It's all about the negotiation tactics, which is what I do for a living. I'm starting to hate my job more and more now in real life. It's,
Hey, welcome to adulthood. That's all that's
um,
called.
but I mean, listen, you need the warranty. You don't really need all the other shit, but that's just annoying. Cadillac trade Connor and Debo for Cook and Evans. I mean, Debo's
Connor
got
had
a
a massive
nagging,
game.
yeah, and Debo's
Debo's
got a
banged
nag.
up.
He's got a nagging hamstring injury, but like we said, I mean, even though as much as I hate Connor, as much as I say that I hate Connor,
He's
I
getting
do
the work.
make right decisions and tell people that listen, he's gonna get the work.
And he got the work yesterday.
Is there of course a chance of injury? Yes, of course there is. But he's getting all the work. There's nobody else there, so he's going to get the ball.
And if you played him yesterday, he paid off big dividends. I actually sat him yesterday because I had Jacobs and Kenneth Walker, and I had Tony Pollard and James Conner. And James Conner had a massive game. He had over 120 rushing yards and a receiving touchdown. So if you played James Conner, he did work. He did lose a fumble, but overall, 100 yards and a touchdown. You can't argue with that production.
No, not at all. Cruz, what up, Cruz? Would you trade Higgins and White for Stevenson? No, I wouldn't give a fuck.
No. It says he has ETM, Pollard, and Patterson. No, but you see the problem, Cruz, is you can't I understand you have ETM, Pollard, and Patterson, but try and move off of
Why do you want
move off of
Stevenson?
Pollard and Patterson and Stevenson. I mean,
Why do you want?
move off of Pollard and Patterson if you want. I mean, yeah, Pollard and Patterson. Don't give up T. Higgins. T. Higgins is awesome, dude. And even when Jamar Chase comes back, T. Higgins is still going to be really good. Maybe that's your concern with Jamar Chase, set to come back, that T. Higgins might take a step back, but there's plenty to go around in that offense for T. Higgins and Jamar Chase to eat. So I'm keeping a guy like T. Higgins.
Yeah, I mean, and if you don't follow us, make sure you hit the like and subscribe, Cruz, because we've been saying, especially now, like towards the end of the season, where people are trying to give up a lot for a great running back, go buy somebody cheaper.
Yep.
We've been saying go buy the Jeff Wilsons, go buy the Latavius Murrays, the guys that are still going to give you a good amount of points. That is not going to
Gibby,
cost
B.
you.
Rob.
Gibby, B. Rob, it's not going to cost you to give up, a guy like Higgins. You can probably package Pollard and something for, one of those guys, that we just mentioned. So I would just try and get a lower tier guy that doesn't have the name, but is still going to give you the production, or close to the production at
Facts.
least. That's all. So yeah, I probably wouldn't give away Higgins. I'm wondering what other options or what other wide receivers or what even the rest of your team looks like. Maybe so maybe we can help you out and give you a better idea of what to trade or what. So if you want, throw that in the chat and we'll check it out. Cruz, Jackson need 14 points from JT and I get the dub.
What's he at right? What's he
You
sitting at
need
right
14.
now?
You need 14 more. Is that what you're saying? Hold on, let me get the game here. Check that out. What does he got right now? I know he's got a tutty, right?
I don't even know. I was playing the game.
Yeah,
Jonathan Taylor. Yeah, Jonathan Taylor has 15 points already in our league. He's got 14 carries, 70 yards, and a rushing touchdown, and another 2 grabs for 11 yards. So do you need 14 more or 14 total? Because 14 total, and even in half PPR, you're in good shape right now.
Wiley Cox is a big dude.
Pretty underrated too.
He's all right. He's all right. Yeah, Jackson, I haven't been watching the game either, man. I haven't been
No,
watching.
I haven't been watching the game because all my stuff is wrapped up, and I just bought a fucking new game for the PS5, so I've been rocking with that. But
Yeah, I got nothing
yeah,
going on either, so it's not the greatest of games to watch. That too.
no, Steelers were kicking some ass. I didn't even check and see what the
I mean,
score was.
it's 16-10 now. I saw Najee is out for the game. I heard.
Yep.
So
He has a touchdown.
And actually, I think I don't even think they got Jalen Warren. Jalen Warren, I think, was out already, if I'm not mistaken.
I have no idea.
So somebody's got a first game from Connor with more than 4 yards of carry. Yeah, I mean, listen, he busted out a couple, and that's it's gonna happen.
For sure.
But yeah. Oh, Pittman, you gotta catch that. What the fuck was that, bro?
Yeah, I haven't been too sure about where and when to play Pittman. I got a ton of options in my home league, and it's just hard trying to find spots for all these guys. Pittman, Sutton, Connor, Olave.
Y'all play the new Call of Duty. Jackson, we used to be really in on the Call of Duty. We used to have like a few nights a week that we get on
Kill
and
Squad.
play. Me, Hammer, Bagala, a couple other guys. Yeah, we call ourselves the Kill Squad, but we haven't actually played in a while. Is it still the same shit? Like we just got to update it. It's still the free shit that's online.
Yeah, the Warzone. They
Oh,
updated the
Warzone.
Warzone. It's 2.0 now, so you start completely like everything is different, all map and whole new map, everything's different.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't played, but I mean, I'm down to get on.
Yeah. I
I might.
actually downloaded it. I downloaded it, so it's my shit is
Yeah.
ready to go.
Oh shit, you want to hop on? Jackson, I'll hit you on Insta, or just send me your tag thingamabob and I'll figure that shit out. Yeah, that's what we fuck with. We fuck with the Warzone. So yeah, definitely hit me up on Insta in the DMs and send me your thing. We'll get on that. But all right, let's get into the first game here, which was that overtime game, the Bucks and the Browns. What happened in that game, Hammer? And
Well, the fuck the
fantasy.
Bucks were up. It felt like they were in control of that game, and then all of a sudden, like the Bucks just couldn't score again. I think they were up 17-10. And then they just couldn't score. They got stuck in the mud. It's been pretty much the same old, Buccaneers that we've seen. I thought they were going to get their shit together after the last couple of games, had a bye week, etc. So it looked like they were getting some steam. But, Tom Brady, again, 43 passing yards, 43 passing attempts, but only 246 yards. You know what I mean? So that's for that volume. It really wasn't what you were expecting. Chris Godwin had a hell of a game, 12 for 110 in a TD, so that looks nice. Mike Evans, nothing, 2 for 31, 9 targets, but it looks off, dude. Rashad White, he was okay. We thought he was going to have a beast game, but he was okay, 16 for 64, but then another 9 grabs in the passing game on 9 targets for 45 yards. So yeah, PPR, half PPR even, he was still pretty good. So you like that. But yeah, man, it just seemed like that was a game for them to take. Cleveland wasn't overly impressive. Nick Chubb, okay, we expect that from Nick Chubb, over 100 yards and a touchdown. But Amari Cooper, really good, 7 for 94. Njoku with the touchdown. So if you played Njoku, we had a bunch of
Sick
questions with it.
touchdown. That was a
We
sick
had we had the questions about Njoku if he was healthy, obviously, because tight end is fucking shallow as fuck. So Njoku's got to be a top 10, 12 play regardless. So he paid dividends with the touchdown. So really, I mean, it was a boring game, to be honest with you, for the most part. I know the weather was a little bit of a factor as well. So I'm really disappointed in the Bucks. I thought they would be better and to only score 17 points. Kind of disappointing, but yeah, Godwin was really good.
Yeah, Godwin did his thing. I mean, like you said, Mike Evans had the targets, but it just didn't work. Rashard White did what he did. He broke out a big run early, but they didn't really like Tom Brady keeps throwing the ball. Like he didn't really like there were times where they could have just handed it off a couple, just slow it down a little bit or hand it off. Like it's not like what Brady's doing is working. So I think they need to just work on the run a little bit more. He broke out the big
Yeah.
one early, and then it was kind of just like fucked from there.
And
And
what made that even more bizarre is they were ahead in the game. So, like, utilize those guys, utilize that shit. Passing game, screen game.
and then
So,
on top of that, Rashard White's his prop for the rushing was like 66 and a half or 67. It was a couple yards. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like they're up. Like, why the fuck aren't they had to give it to him? They just weren't. And I was like, what the fuck? So I lost like two on that one. which got me tight. It was literally a couple yards, but yeah. Other than that, I mean, Amari Cooper had a big drop in that game. I don't know if you saw that, but it was a big drop that he had. So he could have been over 100.
But he did have that big catch towards the
He
end,
did. He did. He
that
did.
catch and run. So that kind of
He made up
redeemed
for it.
that, and he had a nice day. So
He made up for it. And then you got Joku obviously did his thing. Peoples Jones was a
yeah,
bust last game, and that's what scares me about him. But David Bell, 4 for 23, 6 targets. Like David Bell is working his way up. I mean, he's not anything special. He's a little slot receiver, a little Wes Welker like, but you know, we'll see what Watson does when he comes in now because we got Watson coming back.
yep, that's
Right,
the big
next week.
news heading into next week. Yes,
Big
sir.
thing, with Jacoby, if you saw, he was, almost in tears walking off the field. I don't know if you saw that. I think I posted it.
I saw him in the post game though. He looked, talking to the media and shit. I didn't see anything.
No,
I
it was
didn't.
after the game because somebody after the game, like while he was still on the field, because somebody in the stands like said something, is like thanked him, like for doing what
Holding
he
it down. Yeah.
and all that, and so he like got emotional or whatever.
I can understand because listen, Jacoby Brissett's not a bad quarterback. Like he's a solid quarterback. You know what I mean? He's a gamer. He goes out there. He does what he needs to do. He's not perfect. He's not Deshaun Watson talent wise, but you could do a lot worse than Jacoby Brissett if he was the quarterback of your team.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, guys, now with Joku back, I would say be careful with Donovan Peoples-Jones now, especially with Joku back. What do you think about that, Hammer?
Yeah, I mean, we talked about this before, where Njoku, I mean, Peoples Jones is kind of still that boom or bust guy. He's been pretty consistent though, and I think that's what led me to go with him on a lot of these start sit kind of situations. But listen, he still is kind of a boom or bust guy. So, if you have better options, consider it. Play the matchups, especially with him. So it's really, you got to just decide if you want to go for the upside, or if, like I said, if you have a better option, then go with the better option. But with Deshaun Watson coming back, I still think there's some upside for DPJ.
Definitely. I would probably just want to see it before I actually play him again, I think that's probably the route that
It's
I would go. I mean,
understandable.
nobody should really be playing Peoples Jones after, after week 14, after the buys are up pretty much. So,
Yeah.
Caddy said, is it weird to have both D-Hop, Hollywood, and Garrett and Elijah Moore? I mean, it's not weird, I guess, but you got to start all four every week. I mean,
Elijah Moore is the one outlier here because Garrett and Hollywood and D Hop are going to be really good. I don't mind having those three. If you have to start Elijah Moore every week, that's that boom or bust kind of shit we're talking about. So, Garrett, Hollywood, and D Hop, I'm fine with that. Elijah Moore, not so much.
yeah, definitely. I think Hollywood. I don't know. We didn't get to that yet. I guess we'll talk about it when we get there. I think
He had a solid game though.
I think he led the team in targets. I'm not sure.
He had a real solid game.
He just caught a lot of short passes, so he didn't really get.
I'll take it. Have PPR, but that's fine. They're working him back in.
Yeah.
Good to see him active.
Definitely. Jackson said, "Do I start Christian Watson this week?" Listen, he's been hot, so yeah. I mean, I would start him.
And listen, I think
for the flex, and Jordan Love is possible that he plays, but Jordan Love looked like he can sling it a little bit, and that was a fucking beam that he
and
threw.
He just went. That almost looked like
he stepped up and threw it, and he was shit last year. I can say, like, the eye test, he was absolute shit, but this year, I guess his confidence is up. But he stepped up into that throw where he's never done shit like that before, so. I don't know if he's going to go in and take low key going to take Aaron's job. I don't know if that's the case. Well, if Aaron can't play and they continue to lose, there is a possibility that they possibly Aaron. I don't know. What do you think about this, Hammer, as a Packer fan? Is that something that you think is possible?
Yeah, I definitely think it's possible because not only does he have the thumb, now that there appears to be some sort of rib injury. So why, if you're 4-8 now, you virtually have no shot at the playoffs. Why would you run your $50 million, almost 40-year-old quarterback out there for meaningless games? Why don't you rest him up, let him get healthy? He could still work in practice. He could still develop a rapport, with some of these guys, and go from there, because you need him to take up. And Aaron takes sacks to begin with anyway. So his risk of, if he goes out there next week, I understand. Listen, he's a gamer. He said he wants to go out there as long as they're mathematically alive. I'm fine with all that. But also, too, on the flip side, you got to see what Jordan Love is at this point, right? He's in his 3rd year. He's going into his 4th year. They have to decide if they're going to pick up the 5th year option. Like they put themselves in a real box with this quarterback situation. So, it'll be interesting to see. But if the Packers are officially mathematically eliminated, there's no reason for Aaron Rodgers, or even if he's hurt enough, there's no reason to run Aaron back out there. Let Jordan Love develop something with these guys in case Aaron decides to retire, and they're like, all right, cool. Now we know Jordan Love could play. He looked solid last night. I'm not gonna say he looked great, a small sample size. I'm not gonna get too bent out of shape, but that throw was terrific. He made some other really good throws I think there was a drop on one. Aaron Jones had dropped one. He threw a nice dime on the sideline, and Aaron Jones just dropped it. So he looked like he can go out there, command the huddle, kind of knows what he's doing. His mechanics look better. That's what was most impressive to me watching the game, as compared to, say, that Kansas City start he had last year when Aaron had COVID. He just looked scared. Let's put it that way. He looked scared. He didn't look like he knew what he was seeing. This year, it's a lot different, where he looks confident. He looks comfortable. He looks like he can do some things. I'm not saying he's the second coming, but at least he looks like a guy that you can, trot out there and be competitive with.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Vikings can clinch this week.
Because the Bears lost, the Packers lost, and the Lions lost. Yeah,
so let's say that happen. Are they still? How far are they mathematically in like the playoff hunt? Are they like close? Like I don't know.
No, it's pretty bad. So the 7th spot is currently occupied by the Commanders, and we already lost to the Commanders. So we're 3 games back. 3 games back with no tiebreaker. So 4.
Yeah.
Right. So 4 back with 5. 4 back with 5 to go.
All right. So let's say boom.
They're out, dude.
Mathematically, they're out. Mathematically, they're out. Now, Aaron Rodgers isn't going to be happy with them trying to sit him. Like, so do they make that decisions? Do they say, like, bro, Aaron, like, we gotta see what we got in this guy? Like,
no. So I was listening to a show today. I forgot what it was, and they brought up a really good point where the injury makes it easier and more justifiable, right? So you could just ride the injury and say, listen, Aaron, you're hurt, and we're not going to trot you out there.
But what if I'm talking about when he's okay and they're mathematically out, when he's okay, the thumb is fine. 2 weeks from now, let's just say.
I don't know, dude. That's a tough one, but at this point, you got to put Jordan Love and see what you have.
It depends how Jordan Love plays as well.
You got to roll Jordan Love out there.
But if he even does decently okay, it's like,
I don't know. It's a tough call. Listen, I'm gonna trust the Packers and see, and trust that they know what they're doing.
I don't think he's on the Packers next year. I'll be honest. I don't think.
No.
I think this is what's going to turmoil everything, is them just losing and the like, listen, we've got to realistically know like what we're going to do with this guy. Like listen, you're old, Aaron. We don't know when you're retiring. Like we got to be prepared.
But the chance to do that was last offseason. So they already committed. If Aaron Rodgers doesn't retire and he's on another team, that's a $40 million cap hit for the Packers. They're not doing that. So he's either retiring or he's playing next year for the Packers. That's it.
I mean, I guess. I hope so anyway. Caddy says, Sun God been doing really solid for me. Yeah, man, listen, Sun God's my dude.
He's not Sun God. His name is Amun-Ra.
It's Sun God. That's what it means.
No, that's not. Then his birth certificate should say Sun God, and it doesn't.
It should. You're damn right. It should.
I'm out. All right, what are we doing? Let's go.
Do you think Fields is gonna play? I don't know. Depends.
I
How
think
he
sitting
feels.
him. I think sitting him was the smart move, obviously. And the Bears are at, kind of not in a situation where, they're pushing for a playoff spot. So why are you gonna, that's essentially your franchise. Why are you gonna put him in harm's way, especially with a fucked up shoulder?
Yeah,
So if
there's
he's
no reason.
healthy, he'll play. If he's not healthy, he won't play. I think it's that simple.
Yeah. I mean, there's no reason for them to risk his health. They want to obviously
Right,
see
long
him
term.
going forward. Even if they're still mathematically out, they still want him healthy so that he can play. So you can get a look at, him with now. I mean, Claypool. Don't forget Mooney's
Mooney's
done now
out.
for the season.
Yeah.
So you've got, Claypool. So I don't know. Feels like the Packers have been doing the master to apprentice thing with their QBs for the past 20 years. I mean, something like that. I
Listen,
mean,
I think
that kind of just dropped Favre, like, right? How did that happen again?
no, he didn't decide.
But
He was flip flopping about retiring, and then
that's
he retired, unretired, retired, unretired. Like he's doing the same shit Aaron's doing. He's like flip flopping. So they said, "All right, fuck you. We're trading you to the Jets. Aaron's going to be the quarterback."
yeah, maybe they restructure and trade his ass.
That's not happening. I'm telling
All
you,
right.
that's not happening.
Bengals and Titans. Bengals just barely pull away with
Yeah,
this one. T. Higgins though did his thing, and P. Ryan was solid.
yeah, he was.
I mean, he didn't average much on the ground, but 58 with the touch, and then 4 for 35 through the air, 7 targets. So looked good. Derrick Henry with a dud. Well, not even a dud because he had the big
Catch,
the big
receiving.
catch where he fumbled the ball and then Burks picked it up in the end zone and they scored a touchdown.
Yeah,
Um,
that should have been a touchdown. If you had Henry and you lost by like 4 or 5 points, you're probably like, "What the fuck, dude?"
well, I went against Henry and I'm like, what the fuck? Why is this fucking reception here with this huge fucking 70-yard fucking almost touchdown? I was like, there's no fucking way. I thought I was done if he scored that touchdown, but it was a little bit of a rough day for Derrick Henry. They were hitting that mofo hard though, I tell you.
Good.
They were going after him. Burks 4 for 70 on 6 targets.
Yeah,
Not a great day,
he's getting solid though. He's starting to
but
really pick up the pace,
I
and he
think
had
that's
some nice
kind
down the
of
field catches.
I think that's kind of
His
what you're
ceiling.
gonna see. I mean, not his ceiling necessarily, but I mean, yeah, as far as like now in their passing offense, yeah, I mean, like I don't think he's having any kind of 150, 200-yard days. Like he got the 100 last week, and that was like almost on accident. Like they didn't have to throw the ball at the end there,
Mm-hmm.
um, and they wound up doing it. But yeah, I think this is what you can expect. 4 or 5 catches for 80 to 100 yards, maybe a touchdown, maybe not. I think that's pretty much with them rushing Derrick Henry like they do. That's realistic. I mean, he's still the number one wide receiver. But don't forget, that's exactly what AJ Brown was. You know what I mean? He didn't have a ton of catches. He did exactly this almost.
Yeah, and
Kind of
and and Derrick Henry only had 17 carries, which by his standards is pretty low. So that could
he
just
lost.
that just tells you, that just goes to show you what kind of slugfest this kind of was. It was a little bit of a slog, honestly. And I expected that because the Titans play really good defense. Yeah, the Titans play really good defense, and they kind of keep games close. They play ugly, old school, run the ball, play good defense, score 20 if you can, 21, and hope your defense can hold the other team under that. But yeah, kind of a muddy game. The big takeaway really is T. Higgins just doing work. And he is a really good receiver. And if they didn't have Jamar Chase, he'd be a number one receiver in basically, 90% of the teams in the league. So T. Higgins is amazing, but we knew that. Samaje Perine, really good. Joe Burrow underwhelmed a little bit. Obviously, I have him on my Dynasty team, but still solid, 270 and a touchdown. Joe Burrow has some wheels, man. I see him take off every now and again, like once or twice a game. I see him take off, and I don't look at him as that kind of quarterback, a take off and run kind of guy. But Joe Burrow has some wheels, so that was really good to see as well. Tyler Boyd, just absolutely nothing, dude.
Whoever I told to play Tyler Boyd, bro, sorry. That was just a bummer. But it was very like there was nothing going on almost like the whole first half. Like it was bad.
Hayden Hurst, pretty solid.
And
6
then
for
Hayden Hurst was
57,
solid. But yeah, he just
9
wasn't going to
targets.
Boyd. Boyd only 4 targets. So they went a lot to P. Ryan underneath. He had 7 targets. So
Mm-hmm.
it didn't work out for Boyd. So don't even fuck with Boyd going forward. He's out now. He's on the cancel list.
And Chase is back.
And then Chase should be back, hopefully. What's going on? Have we heard any latest news from that? Like
Yeah, they say
practice today, or
yeah,
do
bro.
they
It's
even have
Monday.
practice today?
It's
Oh no,
Monday.
usually
No,
it's
they don't.
Tuesday, or Wednesday. But yeah, did they say he's definitely coming back this week though? Or
Yeah, I would imagine if he was really close last week, he gets another week. I would imagine he'll be back. So all indications are that he is going to play. So we'll see what happens during the week. And you
yeah,
just that's something still you have to monitor just because of the nature of his injury and all that stuff. But he's had essentially 6 weeks. It's been 4 games plus the bye week plus the last time he played. So by the time next Sunday rolls around, it would have been 6 weeks since he last played, and the timetable was 6 to 8 weeks, something like that.
yeah.
4 to 6, something like that. So it's on the back end of that 6 week.
I'm hoping that Chase comes back and T. Higgins doesn't do that good, and then I can try and get him in Dynasty in the off season.
T. Higgins is amazing. You're going to offer somebody like a 2nd-round pick for T. Higgins because
No, of course
yeah.
not.
What are you going to offer? You're going to lowball it. You're going to
I would definitely offer a first for T. Higgins and a player. What you mean? I get
yeah.
proper.
You're going to lowball somebody.
Value.
You're
Yeah,
going to lowball somebody. Yeah.
gonna start that way. Yeah. Jackson said, "Where does Amari rank rest of season for y'all?" I mean, listen, Amari right now is
Got to be top 20.
he's definitely top 15. I think he's top 15. I think. But yeah, he's top 15 pretty much for the rest of the season. But top 20, top 15. Let's see. Let me see where he's at. Hold on.
I was really down on Amari Cooper heading into the season, and he's just proved me wrong. Jacoby Brissett, like we talked about, a steadying presence. So, Watson coming back. It's going to be interesting to see their report. Watson has been able to practice, so I would imagine he's had some time to work with Deshaun, in terms of being on the practice field. But I like Amari Cooper as a low end wide receiver 1.
Yeah, he is. He's wide receiver 9 right now, and I
There you
don't
go.
think it changes the rest of the season. I mean, behind him, really, you've got Kirk and Amon-Ra, but after that, you've got like Lockett, Higgins, Olave, Ayuk, um, Scary Terry. DK. So I mean, he has a very good chance to stay within that top 10, top 12 with what's
Mm-hmm.
there. Just because I'm looking at the guys that are after that, and I think he can still stay where he is, especially now with Watson coming back. I mean, we'll see how that goes, but yeah, I mean, he's top 12 guy, I would say, for the rest of the season. There's my dude Amon-Ra creeping up there. 11. T. Higgins is 13. Olave is still 14. I mean, he hasn't been amazing lately, but
Yeah, he didn't have that great of a game last week or yesterday.
yeah. Caddy said if you take away Jacobs' overtime run and Henry doesn't fumble, I would have won. Oh, that must suck.
It'd be like that, bruh.
That must suck. Patrick said, "What up, Hammer?" Patrick, I saw "What's up, Stevie" on here too, and I don't know what happened. It just disappeared. I don't know what happened, but I saw it when it
Patrick,
first came up. But go ahead, Hammer.
Patrick, what up, man? What you got for me today? Are we gonna be combative? How we feeling? Did you win? The Cleveland Browns won, so I would imagine
Oh,
your
he liked
spirits
it
are pretty
tonight.
good.
He said "What's up, Hammer," and I don't see the "What's up, Stevie." Oh, he deleted it. You see, he deleted it. See, oh, now he's mad at me today. All right, Patty.
Oh, this is great.
Dolphins
Can't get
game
enough.
script kind of muted Tua and Wilson. Yeah, man, it did. It
I
did
figured,
absolutely. And there was
and
one
it's
thing that we were worried about.
afraid of. Yeah, you
Yeah,
did bring that up.
we were worried about that, and that's one of the reasons why I didn't take the over on, or I didn't bet anything on Waddle, Hill, or Wilson, because I just didn't know what to expect, and the defense wound up scoring, I think, too, right?
I didn't watch a ton of that game. Obviously, I mean, I watched the red zone, but I wasn't really like keyed into that game. Obviously, the first half it was just a fucking bloodbath from the rip. But Yeah, it was like 30 to something at halftime. And to be honest with you, they might have taken Tua out a little too early because the Houston made a little bit of a rally at the end. And, with like 9 minutes to go, it was only like a 15-point game or something like that. And you're like, whoa, what did they do? I was even watching it um, with my wife's brother, and we were like, what the hell? But Miami ended up dominating anyway, and you kind of were afraid of that. But Wilson did get the touchdown, so that was good. So he at least had some sort of stable floor. I think he ended up with like 13 and change in our Dynasty half PPR league. So he was halfway decent, but I expected a lot more, to be honest with you.
And then Tua had 200, which is the next game anyway, Houston and Miami. Tua 299 yards, one under 300, which is a bonus in some of our home leagues. But yeah, I mean, Cheetah and Waddle, 85 yards apiece, 5 receptions, 6 receptions. So still, did their thing. ESPN, bro.
The game just wasn't competitive enough for them to keep their foot on the gas. That was the problem.
No. And then on Houston side, I mean, Nico Collins 6 for 44 on 9 targets. He's getting some targets and he's decent. He's just got to hope he scores a touchdown is really the problem. Atkins 5 for 61 with the touchdown. Cooks 5 for 59. Pierce was disappointing in this one.
And he got vultured for the
couple
touchdown.
questions where we had like ETN or Pierce or some other guys, and we mentioned that Pierce had a bad matchup. I didn't play him in one league. I had to play him in another league. I didn't have another choice. But it just wasn't a good matchup from the jump. And then ETN wound up getting hurt, and they didn't bring him back in, even though they said he was good to go to come back in. They kept
which
is fine and smart, smart.
No, it kind of pissed me off because I was in a dance and I had ETN, but long term, rest of the season, yes, especially if you have him in Dynasty, you're like, all right, cool, fine, like keep him out for the rest of the half or whatever the case was, and bring him back next week, ready to go.
Yeah, absolutely, bro, absolutely. Other than that, I mean, nothing much. But yeah, I mean, when they're in this negative game script, like Pierce is just not that involved. He did have 6 targets, but
what did it really mean?
Nothing really. I just the way that he's still not involved, and even though they were down, like 3 catches for 8 yards, like. But yeah, that is what happened there. Patrick said I deleted it. Yeah. Me and you, good Hammer. After damn Vikings fan, listen, don't be hating the team that is winning the division right now.
Oh, stop it,
Patrick. Watch what teams you insult, because when the Vikings win the bowl, me and Stevie laughing to the bank. Yeah, we will be laughing to the bank. We're gonna have a special fucking stream one
day. They are not
be all Vikings, and we're gonna play just fucking highlights from fucking the beginning of time, from fucking AP days.
But highlights of what? Highlights of what?
Of the Vikings fucking
no, there's nothing
to finally win the fucking bowl and shit on all you Packer fans. All right,
that's not. We both know that's not happening. We both know that's not
this year. We're taking the division. Yes, we are.
The division, fine. You got me. I got nothing there. The division's fine. No. You're not winning anything of any significance. You're not beating San Francisco. You might not beat Dallas.
Listen, just because you can't beat San Fran doesn't mean we can't beat San Fran. All right, so
that's fine. You can't beat Dallas. You can't beat Philadelphia. So
yeah, we'll worry about that when it really matters, and then we'll show you. But I was looking at the play-by-play. Didn't expect them to keep Tua out, even only up by 2 scores. Yeah, I mean, I think they just knew that they weren't going to be powerful enough, even if they came back a little bit to actually, do anything. Patrick says he got the win and the lead in points on the season. That's good, which is a pot. If I make one more week, I clinch the playoff spot. I'm moving up to 3rd seed. I'll be playing the 4th seed next week. Yeah, man, good
nice.
Shit. Seems like
Colts took the lead though in the 4th. Colts took the lead in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, pretty much. Catch that win to Canton. Yeah, that's funny. Speaking of, I actually want to talk about something that I guess some people are pissed off. It kind of pissed me off too, but we'll talk about that in a second. Vikings ain't even in the top 3 in the NFC. You're smoking, Patrick. Have you checked the standings, bro? I love Jefferson, but y'all won't make it past the divisional round. I mean, listen.
I agree.
every game, anything can happen. They said that Kirk can't play under the lights either, and he just smashed it last game.
One game.
Doesn't matter.
One
That's the
game.
now. The now, baby. We back.
Oh
We
my
back.
god.
We back.
Oh my god.
We back. Any given Sunday, yeah. Pittsburgh driving though. I got the game over here. I'm not even watching that shit though. But the one I wanted to talk about was the Sean Taylor fucking statue.
Oh man, that's bad. Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Um,
Somebody said it looks like they pulled it out of Dick's Sporting Goods. The mannequin from Dick's Sporting Goods.
Oh,
Like,
a mannequin would have been even better than what they had. It was like
the wire frame.
It was just
yeah.
wire. It was just fucking like wired. They put nothing into it. Like it's like, come on, at least
they
make
threw a
it
jersey
fucking,
on a wire frame. Yeah.
like make it memorable. Like why can't the dude have a fucking statue, bro? Why can't he
And
have a
you know
real
what?
statue at least in the glass case and looking nice? Like not.
You know
that
what?
fucking-
You know what pisses me off even more about that is how much time they had to get this done. You know what I mean? Like, God rest his soul, but Sean Taylor hasn't been with us for quite some time now. So if you knew you were going to do this a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, like, get it right. I mean, but that just sums up the Washington franchise in a nutshell, doesn't it? Isn't that like a microcosm of their entire franchise? Like, they can't even get their name right. They've had 3 names in the last 3 years. I heard their stadium. I heard FedEx Field is a dump. Did you went there, right?
It's not that bad. It's actually pretty nice. It's pretty decent.
I heard it was a dump.
It didn't seem like it was a dump to me. It's actually very nice driving wise. It's very accessible. It's not like the way the stadium is and shit. Like there's not like crazy traffic that usually. Obviously, there's traffic, but it's not like as bad as in other stadiums or arenas. But yeah, I mean, it didn't seem like a dump. I mean, I guess it could use an upgrade. But then again, I mean, I wasn't all around the whole stadium. I was only kind of in my little section and close to the field. I mean, the field looks decent shape. It didn't look like, there was anything wrong with that. But
right.
I guess every stadium can use an upgrade at some point in time, just with the, technology and everything and all that type of shit. So, you didn't smash shit. You'll need to give the return man a raise. Yeah. He's pretty nice, Nwanga. I think he's got like 4. I think he's got the most since he's like came into the league or some shit like that. Should have never changed from the Redskins. I'm tired of these sensitive fucks. Yeah, listen, I don't think that it should have changed from the Redskins either. The world that we live in today, they're fucking just sissies. Everything hurts everybody. Everything offends everybody. To me, it was like we were honoring the Redskins. We're honoring the Indians. That's what it was for me. We're representing.
I was going to mention the Indian
for the team, and I just don't get it. Aunt Jemima, they fucked us with that too. I mean, Aunt Jemima was the shit. We were praising Aunt Jemima.
That's the only syrup I ever had as a kid.
Lando Lakes, they took the fucking Indian off the butter fucking thing. I mean, that's what made me buy the fucking butter. That's how I found the butter. I just looked for the Indian, and I knew that was the one that I wanted.
So somebody brought up a really good point when they were talking about that stuff. I forgot who it was, and they're like, should we change the Kansas City Chiefs? Like, is that what we're gonna do next?
Yeah.
Are we gonna change the Atlanta Braves? Like, that's kind of like the Indian chop that they do.
Do we have to change Cracker Barrel?
All right, now I don't think. All right, point taken.
But am I right?
Oh man, listen, we'll change Giants because it's going to offend short people.
I just
we could change Jets. We're from New York. Jets. We're going to change Jets because of what happened on 9/11. Like, what's next?
Yeah, I just don't feel like it was, disrespectful or hurting anybody's feelings. To me, it's like you're honoring. To me, it's like you're honoring them. Now that they're gone, or from what they were. So I don't get it, bro. I don't get it. I miss my fucking Aunt Jemima though. When they took that shit off the shelves, I bought like a few of them, just so I can.
All
right. Pitt takes the lead. I haven't seen that. Yeah. They changed the damn Indians to the Guardians. Yeah.
Yep.
They took Chief Wahoo from me. Wahoo. I don't know what that is, but that's what I'm saying, bro. I don't get it, Patrick.
I didn't get it. Even when they did with the Indians, I was just like, what? Like that's what we're doing now?
John Doe, what up, man? What's going on, guys? Need some advice here. 10-team league where everybody is basically 500. I started out hot 5-1, but foolish decisions has me 6-6. That'll do it to you in
It'd
fantasy,
be
man.
like that. It'd be like
If you're
that.
not patient and you want to trade guys right away, absolutely. Patrick said Florida State Seminoles. Yeah, bro.
There you go.
Change
Yep.
all that, but not the other one. I don't know. Take yesterday, I was choosing between Evan Ingram or Njoku. You're always going to play Njoku, bro. Njoku has been
Mm-hmm.
solid when he has been in. So if Njoku's playing, like, you got to play Njoku. Evan Ingram hasn't done anything close to what Njoku has, really. The very last second chose Ingram. Njoku had a better game. Is this my fault? Yeah, of course it's your fault. You switched him out. No, yeah, I'm just fucking around. Yeah, it is unfortunately your fault. But listen, you made a bad call. What you got to do is just learn from it, and
Hey,
kind of
listen,
do
John.
that. Go ahead,
John,
man.
bro. A couple of weeks ago, when Josh Jacobs had that first massive game, I sat Jacobs and played James Conner, and Jacobs had 35 points, and I ended up losing by like 10 or 15 that week. So we all do dumb shit. You know what the key is, John? Don't make the same dumb decision again. That's the key. Don't make the same dumb decision again. It sucks for you that it's this late in the season when you're probably, like you said, fighting for a playoff spot, whatever. Fortunately for me, it was really early in the season, and Josh Jacobs is not leaving my lineup ever again as long as he's healthy. But I can understand, and John, all seriousness, I can understand. Listen, the tight end position is such a streaming option. Like we said, we talked about this at nauseum the last couple of weeks, where if you don't have Kelsey or Mark Andrews or Kittle, Hawkinson, those top 5 or 6 guys, you know, Ingram or Njoku, listen, you're going to play Njoku, of course, but it's not like it's a slam dunk. And Njoku was coming off the injury. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like it's an egregious thing like I did by playing James Conner over Josh Jacobs.
For like, they didn't go for 40, so it's not like
Right, exactly. So it's not that egregious from that stamp in the grand scheme of things. But the bigger question was, did not playing Njoku cause you to lose the game? Because then if it did, now it kind of magnifies the decision. So let us know if not playing Njoku cost you the game. If it didn't, water under the bridge. Play Njoku as long as he's in the lineup or as long as he's healthy.
And listen, John, make sure you hit the like and subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the noti bell. We're on Saturdays. We're on Sunday mornings also for last minute decisions. And I was laughing because you were saying, John, and I'm like, it's John Doe. John's probably not even his name, but it was just hilarious how you were saying.
It says John. Okay, John Doe. Okay,
Let
he's a
us
John
know if
Doe.
you're
He's
really
dead.
John. We're gonna roll with John, but I'm just saying, I don't know. It's just that was
All right, fuck it. I'll call him Mr. Doe next time. How about that?
Thank God I didn't make the sudden decision of starting Hollywood over Pacheco. Yeah, Pacheco had the tutty. How much did Pacheco score to Hollywood? What was the difference there? What was the difference there, Patrick? And did I tell you to play Hollywood over Pacheco? I don't even remember.
Yeah, I think we did. I think we did.
But listen, Pacheco don't get the touchdown, and
so Marquise Brown finished in half PPR with 7.6.
Pacheco scored the TD though,
and Pacheco finished with 15.
Only 13. This is
not This is the half PPR rushing touchdown, 70 yards rushing, and 1 grab for 17. So he finished with 15.
Actually caught a pass, which was I was like, oh shit! It was a nice pass too.
Yeah,
first down and all that. But yeah, I mean, listen, 22 for 69. 22 for 69. And if he doesn't score the TD, then he doesn't do much. He scored the TD, so it lucked out, but it's just to show you like the efficiency and then the chances of him getting in. It was just slim. But they were up in this game. Everything went in his favor, which I probably did mention that. Listen, if it does go in his favor, he could do decent. But at the same time, we're playing more of the percentages and shit like that. But if you played him, then good for you. You lucked out. And if you lost because of it, then sorry. But listen, more times than not, Hollywood will put up better numbers than Pacheco. I would come to think, but
for sure,
it ain't. But Njoku was in, and I was wondering about the weather. His injury would affect his play. Yeah, I mean, weather always does play a certain part of it. But at the tight end position, they do run a lot of short routes as well. So they're usually guys that are relied upon even in bad weather. And then yeah, tight end is a wild card, so absolutely. But Njoku's been playing solid, so you can roll him out for the rest of the season with confidence. He's going to have bad weeks. He's going to have good weeks. Now with Watson coming back, it's a little more exciting, or his stock goes up a little bit. But
He's a really good tight end. Like if you watch the games and you see what he can do out there, he's a really effective tight end, especially in that offense where they do have other weapons. They got a fucking all-pro running back. They got probably a Pro Bowl caliber receiver in Amari Cooper. So they got some weapons over there. So there's plenty to go around there. And I think Njoku is a really big beneficiary of those intermediate routes. And then obviously when you get into the red zone, he's a big body target down there. So Njoku's really solid. I think he's a top 10, 12. I would go on the 12-ish side tight end, but definitely startable every week.
Patrick said he's in a standard league, so it's more like 14 to 4.5. Okay.
But still, the difference is obviously the touchdown.
Listen, the standard league matters though, because since it's the points difference, and you're not getting the extra points for Hollywood. Pacheco is not as bad of a play because it's just the yardage.
If it's not a PPR, yeah.
So yeah, that's not actually as bad. Patrick John said, so I played Ingram over Joku and Jamal Williams over James Conner. Jamal Williams has been solid though. Last week I played Conner over Williams and Williams went off. Played him this week and Conner goes off. It's so annoying. Listen, the one thing I'll say, with Jamal Williams is, listen, he's banging in a bunch of touchdowns, but they do got to get down to the goal line. And how often is that going to happen? How is he going to keep that up? Or are you going to keep depending on that, or James Conner? I mean, it's rough at this point. I'll probably play Conner over Jamal Williams just because the simple fact that he's getting like a ton more touches, probably. But it's tough. You got to look at the matchup also and play the matchup a little bit as well. But yeah, it's just that's a tough position. What do you think, Hammer?
Yeah, especially with a situation like this. Like I said, I talk about chasing the points all the time, and you got to be careful with doing that. When they released Eno, I think James Conner definitely his stock went up, because you're like, yeah, he's going to get the carries now. He's going to get the volume. And I did say he's looked better in his last 2 to 3 games anyway. So, his stock is definitely on the rise. But listen, in this particular situation, it's tough because, Jamal Williams is still in some sort of a split with DeAndre Swift. Jamal Williams is getting a ton of work. And I will play Jamal Williams, but understanding now that if you have to choose between one of the two, it's going to be very difficult because you don't know which one is going to outproduce the other. Jamal Williams leading the league in rushing touchdowns, but James Conner coming on strong. Listen, Mr. Doe, if you can trade one of these guys and maybe improve your team, so this way you don't have to worry about which one you're going to play on a weekly basis. You know what I mean? They both have good value now. James Conner just had a massive game, so his stock has never been higher. See if you could come off of James Conner and get yourself a wide receiver or improve your team however else you can. And this way you don't have to flip-flop on that and worry about it. You could just plug your guy. If this is in your flex or your RB2 situation, you can just have that guy ready to go and then improve your team as well. So a couple of options you could think about there in terms of this particular situation.
Yeah, I think at this point I'd probably rather have James Conner than Jamal Williams, or I'd rather play him than Jamal Williams. I just don't know how many times the Lions are going to keep getting stuck at the 1 yard line, 2 yard line like they have been. It's been happening, so he's been in the situations, but if he's not in that situation, it's like he's not really going to do much. I mean, even though he's getting way more carries than Swift, he's not really doing anything really with those carries. So yeah, he's good for more of the short yardage in those goal line touches. So Aiden, what's up? Aiden traded Eckler, Schultz, Godwin, and Aaron Jones for Jefferson, Kittle, Kamara, and Kirk. So Jefferson, Godwin, Kittle, Schultz, Kamara, Eckler, Kirk, Aaron Jones. I honestly don't really like giving up Eckler or Godwin or Schultz. It's not a bad trade. Let me start off by saying that it's not a bad trade. I mean, Justin Jefferson is the best player in the deal and you're getting the best player, but I honestly think I like the other side. What do you think about this, Hammer?
Initially, just right off the rip, we talk about this a lot. I don't like 8 players being in a deal because you don't truly know what you're winning exactly or what you're improving. You know what I mean? But he made the deal, so kind of have to match it up. So is Jefferson better than Godwin? Yes. Is Kittle better than Schultz? Lately, production wise, is Kamara better than Eckler? No. Is Aaron Jones more valuable than Christian Kirk? Maybe. I don't know. So it looks like you're getting the two. Jefferson's the best asset in this deal. So you're getting the best player in the deal. But there's just so many players here. It's really hard to determine how good of a deal it is. You know what I mean? And that's the problem with any deal that involves more than 4 total players. It's really, really difficult to gauge, especially with this level of talented players, because these are, all kind of Pro Bowl littered all over the place, really talented, good, productive guys. So, I mean, yeah, what exactly were you trying to accomplish? I guess, Blanc, you asked that question a lot. In these kind of large type deals, like what exactly were you trying to accomplish? You know what I mean? Were you looking to upgrade your wide receiver core? Were you looking to, what were you trying to do?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I've been saying to get Godwin all season, because he's been getting a ton of targets and he's just the guy. And as he gets healthier throughout the season, he's looking better. Look what he did. I think the last 2 games has been solid games. I like Schultz more than Kittle. I've been on Schultz all season, and now that Dak is back, we just saw what he just did with his 2 touchdowns. So I like Schultz better. Of course, I'd rather have Jefferson over Godwin, but I'd rather have Eckler over Kamara, and I'd probably rather have the running back Aaron Jones over Kirk. I don't know. That's a tough one. But again, it's just so much that I would again say, what are you trying to accomplish? Did you want Justin Jefferson out of this deal? Was that the main guy that you wanted? Because then if that's the case, you probably could have just gave up like Aaron Jones and Godwin or something of that nature, or close to it, instead of just doing this whole big thing. That's always what I have to say. I don't like the whole 4-for-4 type deals. It's just a lot, like Hammer said. But again, it's not a bad trade, but I prefer the Eckler Schultz side, even though Jefferson is the best player in the deal. But what do you think? What's your what side are you taking, Hammer?
Yeah, it's really hard to take a side, to be honest with you, because like you said, Eckler, you love Eckler, you love some Schultz, and Godwin's been really good. Aaron Jones, still really good again. So, getting the best player is fine, but at what expense? You know what I mean? I don't think I don't think I could really pick a side, to be honest with you. It's
With the
just,
scales, it's almost just even.
yeah, to
It's even.
me, yeah.
Everything is just even. I just prefer the other side, but it's just even. So you didn't lose the trade. If that's what you're asking, it's all good. Aiden, you did get Justin Jefferson, so kudos to you. Just hope Keel doesn't get hurt. Kamara's got a tough schedule, and that offense sucks. Kirk's been solid, but Brian, just looking through the chat, I'm also 6-6. I'm just gonna play players having the better matchup. Fortunately, unfortunately, see James Conner has an easier matchup. Had an easier matchup, but he cost me. Yeah, I mean, it all depends on who you're choosing from. It's not necessarily always just
Matchup based.
not always necessarily just yeah, matchup based.
Yeah, so Brian, like you wouldn't sit Josh Jacobs just because he's playing a good defense. Like you're not
Yeah,
doing that.
yeah. Just because
So
he's playing the 49ers, you're not going to
you
sit a top 10 running back or anything like
no,
that.
no. So let's make that clear. If you got a couple of flex plays, or listen, there's a guy that's injured but might be on a snap count. Like we had a lot of Hollywood questions this past weekend because he was coming back from the injury. Like situations like that, you can consider the matchup, and if you have something better or just a healthy guy that is going to get solid opportunities, then you may consider that. But don't not play your studs or your top 10 guys, top 15, even top 20 guys just because of the matchup. Don't do that, because you will find yourself kicking yourself at the end of the week because you didn't play Josh Jacobs because he was playing San Francisco and he still had 22 carries for 90 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah. Yeah, but let us know. Like I said, man, tune in. Friday, Saturday, Sunday morning. Tune in and ask us anything you need at the last minute. And we'll talk about it. Patrick says still a difference of 9 to 4, but yeah, man, listen. It
Yeah,
was
yeah.
targets. Yeah, I think he led the team in targets, but um, yeah, I mean, it was his first game back, so again, we didn't expect him to go crazy, but now he's got an alternative to Gabe Davis. Whoever has a better matchup between Mike Williams, Hollywood, and Gabe. Mike Williams is going to be tough to play, man. I'm afraid he's just going to keep re-injuring that if he does. So it'd be tough to play Mike Williams. I would just prefer Hollywood because we
Hollywood,
know he's involved in the offense and he's going to get the targets.
and he's a
Gabe is
big
going to
play
be
guy.
Gabe
Yeah.
could be hit or miss, but you don't want to play Gabe the game that he duds you and the game that Hollywood is, even work.
No, Hollywood in this situation, Patrick, I would just roll with Hollywood for as long as you can because he's the more consistent guy with the upside. Gabe Davis has upside, but as Blanc said, his consistency is just terrible. Like, he'll give you 30 and then he'll give you 3. So I would roll with Hollywood. It looks like he got really involved in that first game back yesterday. So it looks like another week of kind of maintenance and getting back into the flow of things. And it looks like he'll be ready to roll for the rest of the season. So I think Hollywood is the best bet to roll with out of those 3 guys.
Yeah. And I think Gabe Davis is a guy that you're never going to know what game he's going to do it in. So it's hard for you to actually pick a matchup. Like those chances are so low. You can get lucky, of course, but I think he's just one of those guys that it's hard. You got to play. Like if you have him, you pretty much
Every
have to
game
play him. Pretty much have to play him every game and just leave it
and
at that.
hope.
Kind of
Yeah.
like a Mike Williams, exactly what kind of Mike Williams is, or what he has been. So it's tough because you can never just pick the right game. It's almost like impossible. It's league manager of my league wants me to let him win this week, so he's squeezed into the playoffs. Should I? No, absolutely not. Why?
What? Hold on, Cadillac. Why is that even a question? First of all, if your league manager is asking you to do that, the league is fugazi. Like we don't do
I think
that.
it's definitely Fugazi.
We don't do that. We don't let people win.
Uh,
How does that work?
or just tell him you will put out your best lineup as you normally would, and that's it.
Yeah, like no.
Fuck no,
Fuck no.
Cadillac. Yeah, Jackson.
No,
That's what we're
no, we
saying.
don't do that. No
You're
fucking way.
already guaranteed. It doesn't matter if you're already guaranteed a
No.
spot. Now you got to play. Now you got to play the spoiler and fucking beat him so he doesn't get
You
in.
know, so Cadillac, you know what the problem with that is that if you do that and people find out, you're just opening up a Pandora's box. Like there's no integrity whatsoever. Like, no, it should have been the league manager's business to get his shit together earlier in the season, make some trades, hit the waiver wire, etc. No, it doesn't matter. Crush people at all costs. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're my family member. I don't care if you're my Aunt Jemima, as we said. I'm not letting you win any fantasy games on purpose. Fuck no.
Yeah. Clinch number 1 seed, 1 game lead. All right.
Doesn't matter.
15 is the last week for you in the playoffs. Yeah, that's fine. You're 8-4. Yeah, you're still not doing that, Caddy. Brian said, "What's the thoughts on Christian Watson? Is he worth flex wide receiver 2 option? AJ Brown on the downside on points again for like 3 weeks in a row." Yeah, I mean, we spoke about Watson a little bit. He's a good flex option. I don't know if I'd go as far as doing wide receiver 2. It's just going to be hard to keep producing like he has been, and that's just natural and that's just reality. But AJ Brown on the downside, yeah. I mean, listen, but again, AJ Brown could any week have 3
Is the
touchdowns.
guy.
He did,
Yeah, he is the guy.
So you have to continue to play him on one of the best offenses in the league. I saw a guy today in one of the group chats I'm on Facebook, and he was like, "Oh, where's all the gurus at now? Telling me to play AJ Brown over Christian Watson." I'm like, dude, like get no points for that, bro. You know what the percentage that was that could possibly even happen. You lucked out on it. You made the right call, but 99 out of 100 times that's probably not happening. Or
Listen,
not, but you know what I mean.
coming from a Packers fan, if it was just AJ Brown or Christian Watson, you're playing AJ Brown every single time. Like that's not even a question, right? On the better offense, the guy on a really good team. That's not a question. And I don't like it when people, and I'm not saying Christian Watson is a flash in the pan, but this is really just a production spike that we didn't see coming. Now, fortunately for me, I have him in Dynasty over the last 3 weeks with an injury to Cup and Chase that I have. He's kind of buoyed me and elevated me into a playoff spot. Christian Watson the last 3 weeks, 2 weeks really that I played him, saved my bacon and really helped me. But you're never playing Christian Watson over AJ Brown. That's just not happening. Now, Christian Watson is not a wide receiver 2 yet. He's still on the flex because of the inconsistency in the Packers offense. Now, is he becoming really good before our very eyes? I think so. I think he's getting that confidence. They're finding ways to get him open. That pass that he caught last night against the Eagles from Jordan Love, that looked like some Tyreek Hill shit when they played Buffalo last year. I'm not saying he's Tyreek Hill. I'm just saying the design of the play where he caught a slant and just beat everybody up the sideline. That's all I'm saying. So I really like Christian Watson for the rest of the season. Even if Jordan Love is the quarterback, I still like me some Christian Watson, but temper the expectations. 6 touchdowns in 3 games is just not a sustainable pace.
Yeah. Jackson said, "I make a deal though. If he wins, give you a bit of the winnings. It's not even worth it. Just crush his soul. That will feel so much better.
Just
number 1 seed with a 1-game lead. Yeah, we saw that. Why the hell did this come back? League manager's team is Josh Allen, CMC, Mixon, Adams. He's got a good enough team already, man. If he wins, he wins. If he doesn't, he doesn't. I mean, I disagree with making a deal, letting somebody win. That's bullshit. But I do see strategy and flopping sometimes. For example, my boy in my league put together a monster roster, and he's barely alive.
Wait, what's the strategy in flopping? I don't know what that means.
I'm with you on the making a deal part. I don't want to do that. I'd rather just crush a soul. But I do see strategy in flopping sometimes. For example, my boy in the Lily put together a monster team and he's barely alive. But why flop? Why would you flop? I don't know. Maybe
especially in redraft.
Flop to make the barely alive to make the playoffs. I don't want to run into him in the playoffs. So if I maybe field my backups this week, I can eliminate him. I would also drop seed so I wouldn't have to play my other bro with you have to play him sooner or later, bro, if you want to win it.
No.
If you want to win it, you gotta play who you gotta play, bro.
No, play your best team. Doesn't matter. You can't. This is one of the things in fantasy that I never worry about. I never worry about who I'm playing. I worry about winning all my games, putting the best lineup out there, and letting the fantasy gods just take the wheel. You know what I mean? So control what you could control. Don't worry about anybody else. That's the only best thing that you can do in fantasy football. Nothing else. Don't drop. Don't tank to get a different seed and face somebody else. It doesn't matter. If you want to win the championship, you're going to have to play somebody anyway. So what difference does it make?
Yep. We saw that. My bad. Guy that he's competing with has Mahomes, Cook, JT Higgins, Pollard, Sutton. Okay. Monster ass squad until the 2-week championship and just pray for a miracle. I don't see wrong in using strategy like that. I mean, so it's not wrong. You can do whatever you want, but I mean, you're gonna play who you're gonna play regardless. So if you're gonna win the ship, then you probably should have the best team. Or just win your weeks. That's just part of it. I want to crush his soul, but come playoffs, I'd rather play the league manager's team than the other dude.
Again, doesn't matter. Play who you're going to play.
Are we playing to win or what? I mean, you can't be afraid of the other people's teams. I mean, It is what it is. Last year in Dynasty, I played the best team with the best record, and I fucking won.
Wait, what? Nicole's team.
Remember? Yeah, I had to take.
She didn't have the best team. My team was better.
No, at that point in time, yes,
my team was better.
Place.
Doesn't matter. My team was points.
Better. Anyway, I wasn't scared to face her. I was just like, oh, I'm gonna whoop that ass. I mean, you got to play who you're gonna play, regardless. Because if you want to win, you've got to play the other teams. It's just part of it, bro.
Agreed.
Nah, you're wrong. Whatever floats your boat, Patrick. I mean, I'm not disagreeing. I just disagree. I wouldn't want to do that. But if you want to do that, then I'll be a puppet master if I want to. Yeah, go ahead and do your thing. Do your thing. Y'all better not make a subscribe for the league because I'd smoke check your asses. Yeah. No, I'm not. I just think his is dog shit. Yeah, bro. You're gonna play who you're gonna play. So you make it to the ship, you're gonna play the best team that beats everybody else. That's just fucking part of it.
Right.
Can't worry about who you're playing the first week or the second week. I mean, if you don't see them the first week and you win, then you're gonna see them the next week. Like, what the fuck is the difference?
That's my point. Like, if he's the best team, you're gonna have to face him at some point. What difference does it make?
Right. All right. Next game was Chicago and Jets. Tell me about Chicago and Jets game. Talk to me about Mike White.
Whew. Zach Wilson, bye bye. Oh man, yeah, really good game by Mike White. Actually, funny enough, I picked him up in my home league. Had him on the bench. I mean, I had Justin Herbert and Kirk Cousins on that team, and I couldn't bring myself to play Mike White over Justin Herbert at the time because Kirk Cousins played on Thanksgiving, so he was already locked in. But yeah, man, Mike White really good. Garrett Wilson is just emerging as a beast. And not only the stat line, but the catches, the run after catch, the shedding tackles. Jets defense really good. Mike White making shit happen. So Elijah Moore with a sighting. So that was really good. But I would temper expectations on Elijah Moore as well. I don't think he's ready. I don't think he's a playable guy just yet. I know a lot of people are going to rush to play him because he had a nice game. I would not rush to play Elijah Moore just yet. Garrett Wilson, like I said, phenomenal. Yeah, the Jets just really had a complete game, and that defense kind of just suffocated the Justin Fieldless Bears.
Right. Yeah, they fucking were whack. I mean, Monty 14 for 79, 3 for 34. Garrett Wilson
Oh,
had the two big tutties.
yeah, Garrett Wilson was.
Elijah Moore, of course, got his sighting. And then Donovan Knight waiver wire pickup because Michael Carter's hurt. 14 for 69, and then another 3 for 34 through the air. So go pick up that dude. Adams and Allen are his only guys. Caddy says he's in a shallow league. 8-team. Elijah Moore is droppable. Of course, Elijah Moore is droppable. He's probably droppable in a 10-team. Might even be droppable in a 12-team. Shit, I don't know. I don't have him. It's like the riddle. If I'm gonna hire you for a 30-day job and I can pay you for one of two options, either $1 million up front or I could pay you 2 pennies the first day and just double your wage each day of the job. The other dumbasses that would choose the $1 million up front. Not necessarily. I mean, it all depends because I'll take that $1 million up front and fucking do way more with that by the time I get rich off the other shit. But I mean, I see what you're saying. But yeah,
Hold on,
really
Patrick.
fantasy football.
I don't know how this relates. I understand you're saying strategy and short-term losses for long-term gains. I get that, but that's not. You're gonna have to play who you play regardless. Like just because you play him in the championship as opposed to the first or second game, you're gonna have to beat this person regardless. You know what I mean? So what difference does it really make? You know what I mean? That's a weird way of looking at it. I never, ever, ever thought about losing a game to drop my seeding. Like if I was in first or second to drop to third or fourth or whatever the case may be. I just go out there to win every single game.
I'm trying to post and I can't do two things at once here.
Clearly.
I know it's early, but any word on CMC? I mean, he's injured, but I think he's still playing. Like, I don't think it's anything that's gonna sit him out. I mean, Elijah Mitchell is out. He's done.
Again, just got him back again. And he was looking like a viable flex option on any given week, but this guy can't stay healthy. It might be close to the end for him because this guy can't play more than a few games without getting hurt. It's ridiculous. I had him in my flex this week.
But yeah, I mean, listen, Mitchell is out, so maybe that means that CMC gets some more work now. Maybe that means Debo starts running the ball more. I mean, who knows? Who knows? But you're gonna keep playing CMC as long as you
Oh
have.
yeah.
Uh, Mostert, CMC hurt, so I may have to roll Jamal Williams and James Conner. Connor is so inconsistent for me. He is, but listen, he's got the ball right now, and there's nobody else there. So it's a little
That's
bit different from earlier in the season now, where he's kind of the only guy. So it's actually not so bad rolling with Jamal and Connor right now.
mm-hmm.
It's not so bad at all. Top 10 running back Jamal still. Because you're narrow minded. I doubt it. I'm probably one of the most not narrow minded people there is in the world. Um, no, because look, so it's 4 teams who make the playoffs. I get it. Val's, what up, Val's? What up, brother? Damn, I lost. What
Val's
happened?
my guy. What up?
If I lose to let the guy win, then the other guy is out of the playoffs. You stop worrying about it. This is just too much for my brain. Like you're worrying
Yeah.
about shit that just doesn't matter. Worry about your fucking team and winning the ship. Stop looking at other people's shit and worried about who gets in, who doesn't get in. I mean, yes, it's fun to look at it, but you're not going to change lineups or the way that you play to fucking adjust that shit. That's not even worth your time or your brain to think about. Val says, I have an offer from yesterday. I didn't accept it. Should I now before he declines? AJ Brown for Najee and Sutton. I'm getting AJ. Yeah, I'll take it.
Right. Yeah. Right now. Take
I'll
it.
take
Grab
it.
it.
Go get it. Go get it, Vals. I'm 11-1 and 5-7. Go get it, Vals. Go get it, bro. Is the game over? I haven't even watched
Yeah,
like
it's
what.
done. Yeah, it's done. I didn't even notice who won. Steelers win by 7.
Yeah, Stevie's gonna lecture me in my inbox again. No, you're not that bad. Before somebody fills out a hurt feelings report. No, it hasn't been that bad, Patrick. You've been well. We appreciate you being in the chat with everybody, and I mean everybody's getting along. We all having fun each and every night. We got people tuning in, so what we're doing is working, and of course we appreciate all y'all in the chat and that come and support us. We saw that. Took a dub tonight. Good shit, Jackson. That's what I'm talking about.
Jonathan Taylor getting it done.
Yep. Um, Shit. Let me get back to the other shit. Should I ask for a bribe? No, you're just thinking too much. What are you gonna
What
ask
is
for,
happening?
Caddy? What are you gonna ask for? What are you gonna ask for, Caddy?
No, 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 no. Win your game and worry about next week. That's it.
Oh my
Simple.
god.
Don't overcomplicate it.
Connor and Garrett Wilson for JT. I don't
Mm,
know. Do you need Garrett Wilson? I mean, I'd rather have JT, but do you need Garrett Wilson to play in a flex possibly at some point in time? I don't know. Um,
I don't know. That's a lot of production right now.
it is, and Connor's playing well at the moment. But what was the next game that we were at? My bad. Falcons Commanders Hammer. What we got, dog?
This was a weird
Tell me
game too.
about it.
1913. What? That's what we're doing. Marcus Mariota. Nah, I'm good. Tyler Algier, Cordell Patterson. I'm good. Drake London. Nothing. 0. 2 for 29. Garbage.
Mm,
Nobody on Atlanta did anything of note. There's literally nothing to go there. Commanders winning again. Jesus Christ. Tyler Heineke getting work. Brian Robinson, 18 for 105. Get it done. And he had a receiving touchdown. So Brian Robinson, the big takeaway here, he was pretty much the offense. Gibby, half the carries of B-Rob today. Terry McLaurin only 4 for 48, but he's still a playable asset. Obviously, a little disappointed in Curtis Samuel. I'll be honest with you. He didn't even get a target.
he's nobody.
That's weird.
Well, with
So
Terry and Jahan Dotson back, and Gibby's getting more
Dotson
work in the
had
passing game.
Dotson had 1 target.
He did, but I'm just saying that could affect, Curtis Samuel just being on the field in general, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, so not a ton to go around there. Biggest takeaway was Brian Robinson with the big game. That was really it for any standouts there.
Yeah. That was really it. I mean, Algier and Patterson both split 11 carries on that side. I thought they may try to get the ball to Drake London more. Apparently, they said, let's get the ball to fucking Zacchaeus and gave him 8 targets, 5 for 91, had a big play, but just just not enough. Just not enough. Patrick says he's got to step his game up if he's not doing his job, pissing somebody off. You're doing just fine, Patrick.
Yes.
George, what up, George? In redraft, but I really just lost because of the Pittman touchdown. That sucks.
Oof.
Had the Steelers
Yeah.
D going into a tied matchup. Oof.
That's brutal, dude.
That's rough, man. That's rough. But we'll do better. You'll do better, brother. Brian, last one before I'm out. No problem, bro. Is it wise to hold on to Justin Fields to acquire someone better? To hold on to Justin Fields or to acquire someone better? Or just keep him so nobody can grab him? No, I mean, if you can trade him for somebody, if you don't need him, I mean, then absolutely try and trade him to get someone. Yeah, if you can grab something out of it, then absolutely. Don't worry about everyone else. Just if you need something, then you go get it. If not, then you just hold them. You know. But yeah, I wouldn't drop them if that's that's just a question. Like, yeah, don't just drop them. Adam, what up? Got the win this week off the Pittsburgh touchdown. Let's go, Adam.
That'll work. That'll work.
Let me hit the horn for all y'all that got some wins this week and some tutties. Good shit, guys. Whoever wound up getting the win after tonight.
Damn, Pittman had a touchdown.
Brian, I got Lamb, Olave, and AJ Brown. I want to grab Ayuk, but don't want to stack too many players on the same team with the 49ers. I mean, shit, who else do you have? CMC.
CMC.
I mean, listen, Ayuk is good. I mean, I don't know if I necessarily go out and grab him. I mean, you've got Lamb, Olave, and AJ Brown. I don't know. I mean, yeah, Debo's been a little bit injured. It'd be great to go get Ayuk, but depending on what you got to give up to go get him, I think that's really what it would come down to. I don't mind going to get him. It just depends what's the cost and is it hurting your team or not. What do you think, Hammer?
Yeah, it really, I mean, I understand AJ Brown hasn't been that good the last couple of weeks, but you kind of gotta roll with that kind of caliber of player, and realize that he's gonna regress, or I guess aggress to the mean. You know what I mean? And go out there and give you what he was giving you earlier in the season. The stacking too many players, I'm with you there, Brian. And, you know, he has CMC, but I don't think CMC with Ayuk is that big of a deal. I think did he have Kittle as well?
I don't know. But yeah, if you've got CMC, it's not a big deal if you've got Ayuk. I mean, if you've got Debo, then yeah, you don't want to really play both of them. But yeah, I don't know. Sober thoughts, Big Trev, what up? We got the whole squad up in here. We got the horn for the squad.
It's been kicking this week.
Appreciate y'all. All y'all tuning in. Yeah, definitely.
Ton of the fam in here.
Caddy, basically the league manager bribes you. You let him win, clinching the playoffs. I eliminate a guy with a better team's chance out of the playoffs. I play league manager first one and win because his team is dog shit. I mean, listen, if you want to go all into it and think like that, then go ahead. It's not worth my brain to think of all of that and even just do that. It's not worth it. But if that makes you feel better and thinks you have a better chance, then, you know, do your thing, bro. Whatever little advantage you can get, I guess. Sober, thoughts on Z Knight and Dynasty? Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. Nothing. What? Don't really have much else to say. He means nothing. What do you think, Hammer?
No, I mean, listen. How long is Michael Carter out? Did it say season?
I don't know, but they got J-Rob now.
J-Rob was a healthy scratch last week. That's weird, man.
If you can if you have room on your Dynasty roster right now, and if you can hold on to Knight,
well, because Brees Hall's on your IR, yeah,
hold on to him into next season. Now, I don't expect Zay Knight to be probably even on the roster. We don't know, but if there's a chance that they don't bring anybody back and it's just Michael Carter and Breece Hall, then yes, Zay Knight can have, maybe you can plug him in a game, like, but he doesn't have any kind of like long-term value or any kind of value to like be somebody in the league. But what do you think, Cameron?
I 100% agree with that, and there's not that much to add to that.
Okay, perfect. I was trying to get it out right or say it right, but that's what I'm talking about. Trav Skull, baby. Fuck. Listen,
Where's my guy?
Big Trav Jackson. I was getting hammered in here. When was it? Saturday?
Saturday.
I was getting hammered in here Saturday night by Hammer and a couple Packers fans, and so I needed y'all. But yeah, we in here today. That's what I'm talking about, boys.
That's too funny.
Brian says he's got Jalen Hurts as his QB1. Everyone in this league is just stingy with trades.
So just hold him if you can.
That's fine. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. And that's fine. If people are stingy with trades, then
so be it.
I mean, you've got a top 5 QB, so I'm not complaining. And if you got to keep him on the bench, then that's fine.
Ooh.
Big Trav says was up 3.42, was facing Paris Campbell. He got 3.4. Let's go. That's what I'm saying.
Damn, good shit.
Oh yeah, that is that's good shit. That's good shit. Do y'all like Watson or T-Law at quarterback this week?
I got next week's game. So
it's tough.
Browns at Texans.
Jag. Of course, at Texans. We know the NFL set it up that way.
100%. Jesus. Jaguars at Lions. Trevor Lawrence coming off a really nice game.
They're both good games. We always say, listen, if you got a better option, play that. Well, because of Watson, first game back, we haven't seen him play in how long? I mean, how good is he really going to do? We don't know. We don't know. He could come out and fucking go crazy. I mean, the Texans suck. So, but he could also be emotional. It could be,
rusty.
We just don't know. We don't know. We just don't know. It's a very hard question. I'd probably just roll with T-Law. I'd probably just roll with T-Law against a shitty Lions defense, and play it safe. But especially if it's not a playoff game next week, then I'm probably just gonna roll with T-Law. But that's so tough. So what do you think, Cameron? Are you playing Watson this week?
If the other option was Trevor Lawrence, I don't know, dude. Trevor Lawrence, he had a really good game against the Ravens. We know ETN's going to be back, so that's obviously a plus. On the side of Trevor Lawrence, that's tough. That's going to be a hostile environment on the road at Houston. First game back. I know Houston might be jacked up to play that game. This is Houston's Super Bowl.
Listen, the fans are going to be, it might be tough. They are a shitty team, but it just might be a tough just environment and mental space to just,
I think you bring up a good point that it's not a playoff game. So roll with Trevor Lawrence this week, see what Deshaun Watson looks like, and then take it from there. But go with Trevor Lawrence this week. Like I said, if Trevor Lawrence was, playing maybe San Francisco or a tougher defense, then I would say, all right, roll the dice and play Watson. But he is playing Detroit. I think he can have another solid game. He's got good weapons. Roll with Trevor Lawrence this week, but keep an eye on Deshaun Watson, what he does against Houston.
Yeah, I mean, even on the other side of it, you can say all right, I mean, how bad can Watson actually really be against this shit, team and defense? So it's like, it's a tough.
That's a tough one. That is a tough one.
It's a real tough decision. And the Lions have been kind of decent lately on D. Yeah, Caddy said it there. I see that. I see you, Caddy, over there. Lions D have been doing better.
But it could be a shootout. It could be a shootout kind of game.
Trevor Lawrence has been doing better as well, just like Patrick says in here. Also heating up the last 3 weeks. So, it's a tough decision. But I guess I'm just gonna roll with T-Law until Watson actually plays a game. I'm just gonna leave it at that, I guess. But I'm not mad if you play Watson.
You want to see it?
He could go off. We could be wrong, and T-Law could dud it. But Chick says somebody offered him Kirk Cousins and Dalvin Cook for a bologna sandwich. He said no, I'm a vegetarian. Oh God! All right,
That's
Patrick.
funny.
That was funny though. But Caddy said, "How often would you say you decline trade offers more than you accept?"
Yeah, I would say maybe like 4-1. I decline to
I, w-
accept.
I
Maybe
was
even 5-1.
I was gonna say 99 out of 100. I
Well, I
very
don't.
rarely accept a trade that somebody sends me. I'm always trying to tweak it or get more, unless it's something that really makes sense. I wouldn't say 99 out of 100. Let me be more realistic. I'd probably
10-1, 10-1 decline to accept.
probably, yeah, something like that. Something like that. Ryan says if you were to grab Ayuki, we technically have the 49ers D, CMC, Ryan go. Oh, those don't matter, bro. Kicker and
Yeah,
defense, that doesn't mean a damn thing.
yeah, yeah. That has nothing to do with the offensive skill,
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah.
CMC and
You're
Ayuk is
fine.
fine.
49ers defense has been solid. Gold is okay. Yeah, that's fine. You can go get Ayuk if you want, bro. Don't worry about the defense and all that. County says he likes JT over Connor, but I don't like that he has a week 14 by play. Oh, if it's your playoff week, then you're absolutely not doing it, bro. You're
Yep.
not going to risk a playoff week for no. Then you're not doing it. Don't do that. Adam said thoughts on DJ Moore rest of the season with Darnold as QB, full PPR. Listen, I think we talked about it even last week that
We didn't
Sam
like DJ
Darnold
Moore this week.
Sam Darnold did, what has been the best QB for him. He's averaged 15 points per game, which is the most points he's ever averaged with any other QB he's played with. I think it was a little tough to roll him out this week with him playing Denver. I sat him in one league and played him in another league, but it was just because of the options that I had. So I do like him for the rest of the season. I think Darnold, he can throw the ball a little bit, and he made him relevant again. He looks for him. He's not an idiot. He knows DJ Moore is one of the more talented guys on the team, so he's got to get him the ball. And I like what I saw for the first game back for Darnold. But what's your thoughts on DJ Moore, Hammer, for the rest of the season, and Sam Darnold?
I it's really tough because Sam Darnold could look really good like he did the beginning of last season for a couple of weeks and then just turn into nothing basically. So you kind of have to manage, like I said, manage your expectations with this particular combination. DJ Moore is playable, but it depends on what the options are. We talk about this all the time, especially for fringe guys. I wouldn't say fringe guys, but guys that maybe haven't lived up to the expectation that we had for them going into the season. So a guy like DJ Moore, who's been up and down, maybe through no fault of his own, but up and down production wise, you kind of have to, manage expectations, look at your other options, look at if DJ Moore really starts getting hot, then maybe you have to play him. But it's tough to really get a read because Sam Darnold isn't exactly, Joe Montana out there, you know what I mean, coming back from injury. So he is Sam Darnold. So you kind of have to you have to gauge it. You really have to take it on a week by week basis, to be honest with you. You can't really look at it. You can look at it from a rest of season, but you kind of got to look at it and judge it week by week and say, hey, listen, do I like this matchup? Do I have any options that are better? Stuff like that. Because as we've seen before, that DJ Moore's production has been roller coaster this entire season. So how can you really count on him to give you any sort of stable floor? And then Sam Darnold is what he is. He's a fringe quarterback. You know what I mean? Just because he beat out Baker Mayfield and PJ Walker doesn't mean a whole lot to me, to be honest with you. And you really just have to go week by week with these guys. I don't think there's anything that you could say, yeah, I'm playing DJ Moore rest of season, or if in any weird situation you had to play Sam Darnold the rest of the season. I don't think they're just locked in automatic lineup locks. So you really have to figure out the matchup, see if you have anything better, and go from there.
Yeah. I mean, the matchups don't even matter to me anymore. They played Denver this week, which was a great defense, and where they weren't supposed to do what they did, and they still did. So matchup really doesn't bother me anymore after seeing that. Not that Darnold and DJ Moore are world beaters, but DJ Moore is going to get the football or at least get the targets. And I'm not saying to roll him out there as your wide receiver 2, no, but I think he's a lock for at least a wide receiver 3 or flex play for the rest of the season. I would say I would feel comfortable doing that. But yeah, I'm not comfortably rolling him out necessarily as my wide receiver 2. But he did look better. And Donald can sling it a little bit. So, I don't think he's going to be a league winner or anything like that, but he could absolutely, help you or hurt you. So depends. Caddy says, if I were to get him, which one of these guys from my bench would you package with Connor for JT? Bro, you're not getting JT if he has to buy. We're not doing
Yeah,
that. We're
yeah.
not doing it. Forget it.
In a playoff game.
You're talking about a playoff game for you. You're not going to miss one of your lead guys for a playoff game. So I'm not even going to answer it, Caddy. Sorry, but just don't do it. It's not worth it. How can you possibly do that? Patrick, AJ Brown will always start for me, of course.
Yeah,
Of course.
100%.
That's why I draft a QB high to try to do a stack. Yeah,
which
I
is
got
fine.
Wentz Brown. So even though AJ had a bad luck today with that one play, was worth like 14 points for me. Yeah, I mean, listen,
I did a
go ahead.
I did a bunch of I did a bunch of stacks this year. That was a little bit of a strategy of mine going into my 2 redraft leagues, and then in my home league, in a home dynasty league, I picked up Jamar Chase because I already had Joe Burrow. So I do like that when you're talking about upper echelon elite tandems. So I have Kirk Cousins and Justin Jefferson in a 2 quarterback league. Kirk Cousins is my QB2. I have Justin Jefferson. In Steve's home league, I drafted Dak and CD. It didn't work out. I had to trade those guys to make my team better, which my team got better when I traded those guys. So this is totally fine for me. And AJ Brown to Jalen Hurts probably got you to a really good record anyway. So it's not like a couple of down weeks from AJ Brown is really gonna make you not start him.
Yeah. Patrick says, perfect game to come back for Watson. He can work out his kinks against the sorry-ass Texans. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, but I think I think Houston will listen. The Texans stink. We know this, but this is their Super Bowl, like I said. So you just never know. And I think Cadillac dropped it in the chat early on. Any given Sunday, and we know that's going to be a really emotional game all the way around. So we'll see what happens. I expect Cleveland to win. I expect Watson to at least play halfway decent, but you never know. You'll never know what's going inside a guy's mind, inside of his body, and with the emotions, the nerves, all that stuff. Play in front of that raucous crowd after everything that's transpired over the last 2 years. So there's no way to measure that. You know what I mean? In this kind of situation about how a guy's going to perform.
Yeah, I mean they'll hand the rock to Chubb and basically take it from there. I don't think they're gonna make Deshaun go out there and win it for them.
But
it could be
crazy
relatively Chubb
crazy
could
things
just go
happen.
off,
Yeah.
and we don't know, but anything can happen. Absolutely. Sober said the benches are super deep, so everyone a bunch of doves on their bench. Hasty, Knight, and Ty Johnson are available on waivers. I'm a rebuilder and have Fab to blow. Yeah, listen, if you got Fab to blow, I mean, one of my strategies is going into the off season, especially, is to just pick up a bunch of random backup running backs. Because then once the actual season comes to play and they start going in training camp, then you'll start to see things shake out, and you might just have one of those guys on your bench that runs up into the number 2 spot, or is currently the number 2 spot that continues to be the number 2 spot,
or an injury happens in training camp,
or an injury happens in training camp. So now you hold those guys that can be potential league winners in certain situations, or you can trade those guys for picks during the season to the owner that actually has the main guy on that team. So you can pick up a bunch of thirds, fourth round picks, and stuff like that, which is what I personally try to do, and which I did this year coming up. What I did last year, I mean, coming into the season, and what I'll try and continue to do. On my bench right now, I've got like fucking 8 running backs. But what do you think about this, Hammer?
Yeah, I mean, I did similar things. I didn't pick up a bunch of guys, but I had Jeff Wilson, I had Elijah Mitchell, and that situation worked out. Jeff Wilson gets traded to Miami, and now he's my every week RB2 now. You know what I mean? I drafted in my rookie draft Zamir White, right? He hasn't done virtually anything this season. I drafted Tyrion Davis Price, virtually has done nothing this season. But now with Elijah Mitchell going down, CMC maybe a little banged up. You just never know, especially at the running back position. Sometimes those second, third, even fourth guys might get an opportunity somewhere because of injury, because of trade, whatever the case may be. So that's makes perfect sense.
Yeah, I mean, out of those three, I'll probably take Knight because I think Ty Johnson's done after this season. You'd have to check. I'm not looking right now, but you'd have to check. I think Ty Johnson is not on the Jets after this season, but double check that because in that case, I would rather take Knight after of those three. But let me know who else is on the waiver wire there. Maybe there's some other guys that you could pick up as well. Hammer, I'll trade you a better live co-host for a $10 Walmart card and a pack of smokes. Would you decline that one? I'll make sure he's a Packers fan if it sweetens the pot. We don't need no more
All right,
Packers
so
here.
I don't actually smoke cigarettes, so that wouldn't do. I'll take like a vape juice or something. But not only is he my co-host, he is my family. So Patrick, I'm gonna have to politely decline that offer. Because holidays probably won't be the same if I accepted. Nah, but yeah, Patrick's on some shit today. It started off nice and it just took a deep dive after that.
Big Trev got CMC. Guys, just so you know, Big Trev takes that shit to the hizzy in the photo there. In case
Yeah, we
y'all were
eat that.
wondering. Just had to throw that out there for you, Big Trev. Got CMC, Mondre, AK 41, Rashard White. Who you playing this week? Assume all are healthy and Fournette misses full PPR.
So how many do you need here, though? You know, this seems like a
I'm gonna
because
guess.
you're playing.
I'm gonna guess three. I'm gonna guess he's got to play three. I think Ramondre, you're automatically playing.
And CMC, you're playing if he's healthy.
If he's healthy, you're automatically playing. I think those two are pretty much locks, and I might even like the Rashard White over Alvin Kamara. I'm not even gonna lie. But it's close. I think I'll still go with Rashard White as long as Lenny misses. If Lenny doesn't miss, then you're going with Kamara. But what do you think, Cameron?
Yeah, I mean, I think really, I think assuming Fournette misses the game is kind of what you're banking on, right? Because if Fournette plays, then if Fournette plays, then you're going to play Kamara. If Fournette doesn't play, then you're going to play Rashad White. So let's just work it that way, I guess.
So you're saying Kamara? We got to play three of them.
Yeah,
Let's say Fournette
CMC.
misses.
Yeah, if Fournette misses the game, then they actually play each other. So the Saints are playing the Bucks next week at Tampa next Monday night. So that's the matchup. So I think I mean Saints have a really good defense, man. Like
they do. Maybe you do.
They held San Fran. They held San Fran to 13 points with all those guys rolling around out there. So
maybe you do go with Kamara. I don't know. It's tough. It's tough. I probably will go with Kamara in that case.
I think I would lean with Kamara. Full PPR as well. Full PPR. I kind of lean towards Kamara as well. So yeah, I think I'll go CMC, Ramondre, and Alvin Kamara here.
Yeah, I changed my mind. I'll go with Alvin Kamara too. But ask us again on Friday or Saturday because our mind could change again.
A lot could change.
A lot could change, exactly. Jackson said, "What do you think of this dude's team in my league? Herbert, Henry, Cook, Jefferson, Amon-Ra, Kittle, and Kenny Walker." That's pretty.
That's
solid.
pretty nice, yeah. And Justin Herbert's picking up the pace now. Keenan's back.
Got Lamar, Fields, JT, Mixon, Hill, Lamar. I mean, you got a solid team too. So, and Watson, Monty, or Sanders at flex. Yeah, I mean, listen, you got a good team too. So that looks like it'll be a battle for you. Caddy says the running back starts are Stevenson and Henry, so he would be a flat. Wait, who are you talking about? My bad. Did I miss? I don't remember who we're talking about, Caddy. My bad. We saw that from Jackson. Jeff, what up, Jeff? Who do you like best for the flex this week coming up? Rashard White, Palmer, Pickens, or Patterson?
I think we're taking Patterson out of there.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. Split the carries like evenly with
Algier. This is a tough one.
I think I'm gonna go with Homer if Mike Williams doesn't play again. Otherwise, I'll probably go with White. And we just talked about White in the tough matchup too.
Yeah, I think I'm leaning that way too, but man, Pickens has been really good. He didn't have a great game today, 3 for 57 on 6 targets. But the upside is there. The guy is still making really good plays. Yeah, this is Josh Palmer for me, especially if Mike Williams doesn't play. Even if Mike Williams does play, maybe I would still play Josh Palmer regardless. Just because of the re-injury history with Mike Williams, and it didn't look good the last time he was out there. So yeah, I'd go Josh Palmer first, and then Rashad White a close second.
Caddy said, scratch that. He wants Wilson, so replace Connor's name with Wilson on my last question. All right, hold on here. The backs are Stevenson and Henry, so he would be a flex. If I were to get him, which one of these guys from your bench would you package with Connor for JT? Oh, that's the one. No, wait, stop trying to get JT if he's got the bye in your playoff week. That doesn't. He wants Wilson or replace Connor's name. Fuck. Caddy, put the whole question in the chat. I'm confused now. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. He wants Wilson. He wants Wilson for JT instead of Connor.
Yeah, but you can't do that because he's playing you're gonna miss Jonathan Taylor's gonna miss a playoff game. So
yeah,
so you're trading away guys that are gonna play, and you're getting a guy that's not gonna play.
Yeah, that's what I have to say.
Can't do that.
You can't miss a guy. You can't be missing one of your main guys in the playoffs. So I would say no, just stay where you're at, bro. But Saints got tougher. Yeah, that's what we were saying, Trev. I mean, it's rough, bro. It's a tough. That really is a tough one. But again, ask us during the week. Snap my 4-game losing streak, 7-5. Hoping to make it to the ship. That's all you need is a little hope, man. All you gotta do is
just get in.
All you gotta do is get in. Hot take: Kenny Walker is butt juice on the low, getting saved by TDs. I mean, scoring TDs. He's scoring TDs. I mean, it's not like he's scoring garbage time TDs. I mean, he's getting in the end zone.
And listen, they throw him the ball too.
To him 20 times. They hand the ball to him 20 times. Like, if you look at some of the laugh games, I'll offer the same deal next year at the beginning of the season to see what the odds are then. Just fucking around, fellas. But I'm not done trying to explain this scenario. Oh God. I'll bring it up. No, I understand what you're saying, Patrick, that you lose and you'll get a better seed. You'll play a worse team. Like, I get it, but again, anything can happen in any given week. Like, just because you're playing the shittier team does not mean that
you're gonna
team's
win.
gonna score less points than the other team that you would have faced. I've seen it happen with I've seen a guy ride waiver wire dudes to the fucking ship. Because he had some injured players. It could happen. Like, anything could really happen. So that's why I say, like, I don't care. Like, whatever the fantasy gods have in store, they have in store. So whoever I'm playing is just whoever I'm playing,
I agree.
But I do understand what you're saying, Patrick. I just don't really care to do it, because that is how it will fuck you. By you doing that, karma is gonna fuck you in the end, and you're gonna lose. That shitty team is gonna put up mad points.
And you're gonna be like, "What did I do?"
You would have wished you played the other team, bro. Last 2 weeks has 24 attempts for 43 yards. Who are we talking about, Jackson? Fuck.
Kenneth Walker.
Kenneth Walker.
That's
because
fine.
I think they've been down. Less 24 attempts for 40. You mean altogether?
Last 2 weeks.
Altogether? Yeah, because they were getting blown, I think, right? I don't even remember. But before that, he was getting what? 17, 18, 20 carries. Pull up Kenny Walker's stats real quick.
Got you, because I got him on my home team, and he was been doing great. Yeah, so 24. Yeah, so they played Tampa in Germany. But before that, listen, weeks 6 through 9, so that's a 4-game stretch. 21 carries, 97, and a touch. 23 carries, 167, 2 touches. 18 carries, 51, and a touch. 26 carries, 109, 2 touchdowns. So, I mean, He's giving you the floor, dude. Teams are going to try and shut him down, obviously, because he's burst on the scene. So I wouldn't judge him after 2 games, just like I wouldn't, we kind of anointed him in that stretch where he was just going crazy. But bro, he's an every week RB now. You can't not play him if you have him on your roster.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he's pretty much solid back end RB1 almost. I mean,
Oh yeah.
just I guess depends on the game script too. But if I make a trade, my running backs would be Henry, Ramondre, Connor, and JT. Oh, okay. So you'd have 4. Why? Why get 4? I mean, what are you gonna do now?
Right. And you're not going to have Wilson.
Then you're just gonna play.
Then
you're just gonna play the wrong guy when it really matters. That's what it's gonna come down to. Is you're gonna have to choose between certain guys, and whoever you sit is gonna go off, and whoever you play is make you lose. Unless you can play all 4 of those guys. Can you? No, I don't think so. This is like the 18.
No, but I think what he's saying is that if he gets Jeff Wilson out of there and gets Jonathan Taylor, he can afford to win that week and then have Jonathan Taylor for the rest of the playoffs, as opposed to Jeff Wilson.
But he's still got Connor. He's still got Henry, Ramondre, and Connor if he makes the trade. So he's got 4 running backs. You can't play 4 running backs unless you've got multiple flexes. So that's my thing is now you're going to have to be choosing between that and the playoffs. Is it worth it? I mean, if you don't need them, then I guess that's fine. But, come that championship week, you're going to play the wrong player, and there's nothing you can do about it. You can't choose.
Jackson, I'm crying right now at your comment.
I'm gonna go bet the farm on the Vikings line right now, -2.5 on the Jets.
I'll probably take the Vikings. I'll probably take the Vikings -2.5, but that's tough, man. The Jets have a good defense, and they're really rolling right now. They love Mike White. That's a tough one, dude. I don't know what the farm is exactly. I mean, I got a couple dollars stacked away in a 401k. I don't know if I want to touch that just yet, but I got like $50 laying around in my MGM account. We'll see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, ETN got hurt also. We didn't talk about that, but yeah, ETN got hurt, and I think we did briefly talk about it. They said he could have came back, but they didn't bring him back. He said he's good to go. I think
he's fine.
Posted something. He's good to go, so he should be fine. Patrick says 10-team league with all his Marine Corps brothers. We're nuts to begin with. Y'all are. We love some crazy though. Preseason league dues is $150, so that makes a $1,500 pot. Yeah, bro, that's nice. That is nice. I don't know where the continued part is. It hasn't came up yet. But Simp, what up, Simp? Y'all think Njoku going to be money with Watson? He was money without Watson.
He's good. Yeah, I think he's good regardless. I don't think it matters, honestly.
He was good without Watson, as we've seen. He's just been injured. So, yeah, absolutely. Caddy said, 2 running back, 1 flex. I offered Sutton or Pacheco for Jeff Wilson. Yeah. He offered Sutton or Pacheco for Jeff Wilson. I mean, you don't really even need that, so you might as well just keep him. Hammer, early opinion on the 49ers Dolphins game. It's Niners minus.
Ooh, this is an interesting line. I would imagine that San Francisco's at home. That's why they're favored by 3 right now. I think that line will move. I'll be honest with you, Jackson, because I think people are going to take the Dolphins in that +3. Yeah, this is a really tough game, and a real good test for Tua to see what he can do against an elite team, because I would call San Francisco an elite team at this point. Definitely a Super Bowl, one of those few Super Bowl contending teams from the NFC. I'm leaning Dolphins here, to be honest with you. I think the 49ers are still figuring some things out offensively. They only scored 13 against the Saints. I know the Saints have a good defense, but I expected a little bit more out of them. I know the 49ers shut out the Saints. Saints aren't exactly a juggernaut offensively. Really tough game to handle, but right now I would lean the Dolphins and take the points, honestly.
Yeah.
I think they're a little more. I think the Dolphins, not a little more. The Dolphins are a lot more efficient offensively and kind of in a groove. So I kind of like that to continue. And no matter where the game's at, if it's in Miami or San Francisco, the weather is going to be fine around this time of year. So I think, with that in mind, I think that Dolphins offensively are in much more of a groove than the 49ers at this particular point. So I like the Dolphins in the points right now.
Yeah. Caddy said or Devonta. I mean, you just don't need any of that. But yeah, I mean, go get it. I guess take it. If anything, Caddy, just get a little better. But also like Tyreek to have a big game, but will be competitive all the way through because of
Yeah.
Yeah,
I agree.
We have a mini pot called GM of the Year, where whatever manager has the most points for gets 150. Now 6 teams make the playoffs with a 2-week championship. I don't love the 2-week championship thing. I'm going to be honest. First and second seed get a bye.
I like that. I like that
Everybody
mini
does
pot
things a
thing.
little bit different.
I like that mini pot idea.
Yeah, the mini pot thing is.
So you basically, if you score the most points, you get your money back for the league.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
I like that.
Caddy said projections are bullshit. Bro, they're always bullshit, man. I mean, I wouldn't say it's bullshit, but it is kind of bullshit. Anything can happen. Obviously, we know that. They're just basing what they do is they base a projection off of like the whole season almost, and then basically like divide it up like that, and then look at the game and then adjust to how good that defense is and shit like that. Like it's just. They're never right, always right, obviously, because different people win the games or different people win the championships. And
did ESPN have Josh Jacobs rumbling for 50 points? No. You know what I mean? Like
Yahoo told me I was dumb for drafting ETN and Dameon Pierce early. They're like, oh, you drafted him way too early, and Kenneth Walker, you drafted him way too early, and then look at me now rolling through. So I mean. Anything can happen. Those projections are, iffy at best. I think that is it. We got another vote on one of the posting 2023 drafting rookies. We got people wanting 2023 shit. We got people wanting the art of trading, and we want people on the buys and sells. Make sure you guys follow us on Instagram. I think I did today my top 5 running backs. We'll have to make some videos for it. Trading, we'll wait for the off season, just because obviously everybody's pretty much done trading at this point. And then buys and sells, we'll do a bunch of those in the off season as well, for Dynasty, as we have been. But yeah, I'll probably make I think I'm off this weekend. Maybe I'll make a running back video this weekend or some bullshit. I don't know. We'll see. Dameon Pierce looks like it was dumb right now.
I mean, listen, you could
go game for this particular game, yeah, but for the season, but this is one of the things that I've actually said about Pierce. Was that towards the end of the season, of course, you don't know how bad they're going to be or what they're going to look like, and his usage could start to come down. But again, they were just in a bad game script, so I'm not totally out on him yet. I think as long as they have a decent game script or can stay close in games, like he's still going to get the work. So I think you'll be all right. I was going to trade for that cowbell, but what good does it do if he's literally the only guy on the team? I was going to trade for that cowbell. Oh, Dameon Pierce you're talking about? Bell cow, maybe?
Or Jonathan Taylor?
Or Jonathan Taylor. No, the 6 playoff teams pay an additional 150. The 6 playoff teams pay an additional 150. We voted that the commissioner gets a little $50 pot plus 200 goes to him because he organizes and facilitates our live draft. Okay, that's not bad because if you do a live draft, then that's awesome because obviously there's shit
people there,
and buy and prepare and shit like that. So yeah, that's cool, man. That leaves $2,000. That's good, Patrick. That's awesome. In honor of the masseuse master going against his ex team, I'm hammering Browns -7.
That's well played, Jackson. That is well played, my friend.
Good.
That's hilarious, actually.
Do you like the Niners D playoff schedule? What is the Niners D's playoff schedule?
I'll tell you right now. So when does his when does his playoff start?
I don't know when his does.
14, week 14. He said.
Or he said next week maybe.
So the next couple of games: Miami, Tampa Bay, at Seattle, Washington, at Vegas. It's okay. I mean, I think they're a good defense. They're a good defense. Tampa's not that great. Seattle's up and down. Washington, it's really that Miami game that I would be worried about the most.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. Week 14, he said. Yeah.
Yeah, week 14. So they have Tampa, which Tampa's not any great offensive juggernaut anymore.
Yeah. Or maybe we won't go over like all of the individual games on Monday anymore. Maybe we'll just pick topics or players and shit that happen, and we'll just talk about that.
Like standouts, Sunday standouts kind of shit.
Or like today, even like I put in at the end, like ETN, Watson, talking about things that are going to be happening in the week. That might be a better thing to go off of for that, because this is a good question actually. Cruz said Dak, Watson, or Fields for the rest of the season.
Well, you got to find out what's going on with Justin Fields' injury, because as we said before, if he's significantly hurt, they're going to shut him down. There's no reason to jeopardize the future of their, and then so it's really between Dak and Watson. I probably lean Dak Prescott, but we got to see what Deshaun Watson looks like,
Yeah, I'm leaning towards Dak because obviously Fields' injury, we don't know what's going to happen there, what that's going to entail. Obviously, he's not going to be running like he used to. He ain't taking no fucking hits like he was. He's not, because that will just make shit worse. So it's a little rough there. But yeah, I'd go with Dak on the safe side. Watson. I don't know. What
we have a malfunction.
I don't know. I guess so. But yeah, I'm going to go with Dak as well. I just think that, we don't know what we're going to get out of Watson. It's still a little bit of a question mark. So we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, I'll go with Dak. Guys, throw them last second questions in the chat before we hop off here. 15 goes to the winner. 500 goes to second, making it to the championship game, which remember is 2 weeks. So it makes it a point to strategize or puppet master our way to the ship. I guess.
Listen, if the ultimate goal is winning, right? So if that's going to help you win, it's fine. I guess we just don't subscribe to that because, the way we just play, we go to win every single game. There's no strategy. There's no whatever. I want to beat every single person every single week. But listen, if the end goal is that gives you a better chance to win, then by all means, whatever your strategy, your path to winning is fine. It's not my path. I don't think it's Steve's path, but hey, to each their own at this point.
No, not as far as doing something like that for the playoffs, like, to play somebody else. Like, it's
I don't subscribe to it either, but
too much to think about. I play in too many leagues where it's just like whatever happens at that point. Whoever I'm going to play in the playoffs is who I'm going to play. And like I said, I've seen shittier teams produce better points in certain weeks than the better teams. So you playing that shittier team that week might hurt you more than it helps you. I could either claim Niners D or Kareem Hunt just in case Chubb gets hurt. I mean, I'd probably rather have Kareem Hunt. I think that's going to be a bigger difference for you. I mean,
I agree.
Especially if you've got Chubb. So then the Niners defense will.
Yeah, I agree.
Now let's talk specifics. Yeah. Siggs is the team that assembled a monster team is making a last-minute dash at the playoffs. I'm playing Adams next week with Adams. Not fucking I'll fully explain this to this shit. Yeah. Go ahead. I mean, you can fully explain it, but anybody else out there, throw them in the chat before we hop off this. Appreciate y'all coming in. Make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe for us. I think we just had the main crew in here. I don't know if we picked up any subs tonight, but Like all three of you. God damn it. No wonder you got 3 ex-wives.
3.
I'm
Woof.
not shutting you up. I told you to explain it. I'm trying to, before we hop off here, listen to your side of the story on why I should do it. And I think I get it. Like, I know what you're saying because you explained it a little bit before, which I totally get. But again, anything can happen on any given week. So just because you're playing a team that doesn't look as good on paper,
They could go off.
doesn't mean that that's the better team to play that week. So that's kind of what I have to say about that. But I want to hear Drake on your speakers. Caddy, I got to figure it out because Hammer said he can't hear the shit when I'm playing it from the speakers.
I cannot.
So I don't know if it's the noise canceling headphone. I don't know the mic. I don't know. I've got to figure out how I can possibly play it or download the damn video so that I can actually pull it up on the screen. But I did listen to the Drake song. I told you I heard that one before, but yeah. All right, Hammer, ride this parlay with me.
Is there more?
There's nothing else on here for now, but unless he's typing it in. But yeah, we'll go over more of that.
Yeah, we'll hit that. And the thing is, a lot of these lines, they move, during the week, depending on how people bet. I can see that Miami line moving. If they're +3 now, I could see it being a 2.5 maybe. I think people are going to take that Miami 3, and that line is going to move down. It'll probably be Miami 1.5.
All right, Caddy. See you later, brother. Thanks for tuning in, man. Appreciate you as always. Jackson said Browns, Dolphins, Vikings, Packers, Ravens, and KC money line. All money.
Yeah, money line is solid. I gotta look. Obviously, I like the Browns. I gotta see who everybody else is playing, though. I really didn't even take that much of a look at it, but I'll take a look at it real quick before we jet. So Packers over Bears. I don't know what to expect from the Packers right now, but all right, I'll roll with you there. I'll take the Packers. Vikings over Jets. That's that's a tough line right now. Vikings at home. I'll roll with the Vikings money line. Ravens. Who are the Ravens playing?
No, we haven't got into next week yet.
Ravens over Broncos. Thank you. And Chiefs over Bengals. Oof, I don't know, dude. Bengals at home. Bengals getting Jamar Chase back. I need some time to think about that last game, but I agree with the first 5 picks. That KC Cincinnati game. Let me get back to you on that one, Jackson. I got to think about it. I got to see if Chase is playing.
Patrick says he's going to win GM of the year. If he flops, Adams is going to qualify. 6 will get eliminated. Plus me dropping down to seed makes a possibility that I may not play Dubs in the second round. Yeah. I mean, I get it. I get what you're saying. He's absolutely stacked. Remember, we're taking a 650 come up. Listen, it is a lot of money on the line. So in that sense, like I totally get what you're doing. And, that's fine. I get it. For me, I don't know. Like I said, I just don't really care much, but yeah, I get it. You got the money on the line, so whatever can tilt the score or tilt the how do you say
the best advantage?
Tilt the scales in your favor or whatever it is. then absolutely go for it, Patrick, and do your thing, bro. Do your thing. All right, guys. We're gonna hop up out of here. We'll see y'all Friday night. Otherwise, follow us on Instagram. I'm always posting shit up on that piece. We out.